Okay, this video is called Feel It in the Right Hand. If you're familiar with me, you're probably familiar with the square-to-square swing, where we're just trying to maintain a square face as long as possible throughout the swing. So as we're going back, we're not hinging our wrists or rolling our club face open or hinging our wrists open. We're trying to just keep the club face square to the arc on which we're traveling as long as possible. So a lot of students ask me, how can I feel that, or how can I get a sense that the club face is square or not without videoing it or without, having somebody there to watch you? And I think one of the easier ways is to feel it actually in your right hand. So a lot of us talk and think a lot about the left hand when we're thinking about the grip, but I think the right hand's a really good way to feel a square face, and I can show you what I mean. If you have a golf club handy, just grab it. You'll feel exactly what I'm talking about. If you set the club up, and just go ahead and set it kind of like where you'd like it to be at impact. If you set the club up there and you take it back and you roll the face open, you'll feel that you don't have any support. Even in my hand, it's starting to slip out of my hand. So the club face is very open there. If I were to just bring it back, you'd see it's extremely open to the target, almost 90 degrees. So that's the feeling that you're going to get. Feel like you roll it open and feel how unsupported that is, and like you don't have any control over it. And then do one where you keep the face square and you'll feel that your right wrist supports the club face. So now your right wrist might bend a little bit more back, but the club face is still supported, it's still square to the arc, so that if you were to just bring it back down, the club face would be square to the target. So the drill that you can do, the first one where I had you roll it open, that's just for you to feel the difference. We don't want to do that in the drill. The drill that you can do is take the club back, feel it supported in your right wrist and your right arm, and then just turn through, keeping the club face square to the arc without flipping or rolling. You're just turning your body through to the target. And then you can go ahead and put your left hand on, and sometimes I have people just take a split grip, like a baseball grip. You can put your left hand on a split grip, or you can take your regular grip, whether that's a interlocking or overlap or whatever it is. But first, two with the right hand, just feeling like you're supporting the face, and then put your left hand on and try to get that same feeling, and I think you'll be able to feel it in your right hand that you've got support of the face and support of the club. So again, it's 1, 2, okay, now my other hand, and I usually just do 1 there, and then we're going to go ahead and hit a shot. And when we hit that shot, we're just trying to feel like we're in that same position in our backswing where we've got support of the club face. Some people say it feels like their hand is kind of facing, like I've got a door here at the studio, it feels like their hand is facing the door. And that makes sense. If your hand is supporting the club face, it's going to be more pointed that way than it would be if it's rolled open and your hand would be pointed at the sky. So it's kind of an interesting feeling, and I think it's really helpful for you to get the feeling for the club face. So try that drill. 2 just one-handed, where you're supporting the face with your right hand, then put your other hand on. Try to feel the same feeling, and then go ahead and hit 1. One thing to remember when you're hitting that final shot, when you're actually hitting the shot in the drill, and in your practice swings, we're not trying to kill the ball. We're just trying to really lock in this feeling. If you can do it in some small shots first with maybe a pitching wedge or 9-iron, if you can do that a few times in a small swing, then you can definitely try to take it to a bigger swing. But there's no need to take it to a bigger swing if you can't get that feeling right in a small swing. So I hope this helps. Try this drill, or even just if you're at your house, take a few practice swings with just your right hand and see what it feels like to support the club face with your right hand.